Hello, welcome to Gabie's Knit Goodies. I am Gabie. I am an avid knitter, kind of an obsessed knitter. I knit all the time, and I also dye my own yarn. My husband made me some little tabletop pegboards because I'm going to a festival this coming weekend, so I can display all my yarn. Isn't that cute? I mean, it's not all of my yarn, it's just a little bit of it, but I wanted to show it off. He made me two of these little ones, and then I have two like big stand-up boards. So I think that will work much better because I've only done one other actual festival before, and I had everything on a table and had some crates and stuff, but it's difficult when you have yarn like piled up and somebody wants to look at something, then yarn falls down and putting it back, it just makes it difficult. Whereas this, you can like see it easily. My only issue is all of my sleeves that I've put on already, I have to hang it, I need to hang it by like this side, which makes my labels upside down. So I either need to swap my labels around, which will be a bit of a pain, or not worry about it. I don't know. We'll see. I have a number of them like this one that I haven't put a label on yet, so yeah. So anyways, it's exciting. And so the festival we're going to is the Strawberry Festival, and so I dyed a number of my strawberry lemonade because I thought it went well with the theme. And I have no idea how well the lighting is in here because I'm in my sunroom, which gets lots of good natural light. However, it's kind of late in the day, and so the light might not be great. It would be kind of dimming, and it's a very rainy, kind of yucky day. There we go. Let's start with what I'm wearing, although I have some very exciting things to share, like a test knit for Boyland Knitworks. So exciting. Okay, so this is Knit Cafe Midori's, what do you call this? Ranunculus. This is, I think, the second one I knit. My first one was just all brown and I did the longer sleeves. And this one is knit out of a cotton and acrylic blend that I got from Joann Fabrics last summer, I guess it was. And I did knit it last summer. It's knit on huge needles like size 10. And so it's very airy and holey. So I wear like a little camisole, very short tank top type thing under it. But you can't really see through it. I think it's cute. It's very like big and wide, but super airy. I think the only modification I made for this was I did not do the short rows in the front, but just did them in the back. So, yeah. I like it. I thought this yarn was kind of cool. It's kind of, like it ends up striping, like you see, or pooling, I guess. But it also has like a little bit of black running through it as well. Almost marled look to it. I have not worn this one very much, but I feel like for some reason this year I will. I think I'm into like the really big shirts. I like that trend these days, and this one totally fits that. It's like, this is me, and the shirt's like huge. But it makes it super like airy and light. Okay, so moving on. Why don't we just jump into the excitement of the day, which is Caitlin Hunter's test knit. So I saw her Instagram story that asked about test knitters, and then I went on Ravelry, and I had been a member of her Ravelry group on there, but I'd never test knit for her before. And I saw the little test knit thread, and so I just applied and said that, you know, I'd love to make one either for myself in a size like 3 or for my mom in a size 5. And they selected me for a size 5. So my mom is gonna get a shirt, and I think she'll really like it. And so then I'm a little late on this test knit because I went on vacation for a week. So I'm like a week behind, I feel like, starting. But there are some other people who hadn't started yet. And I also wanted to dye yarn specifically for it. So I asked my mom what her favorite colors were. And she said blue and green. And so I dyed this blue, which I'm calling Peacock. And I do have some in the shop. And then I dyed this as my contrast color. I don't have a name for it yet. So if you have an idea, please tell me. It's a very yellowy, light green with some pale pinky purple splotches in it here. I really wanted high contrast because it has color work in the yoke. And so this totally gives me that high contrast. And I wanted to have green and blue because that's what she likes. So this is my combo. The pattern is called Alpenbloom. It's not out yet. I don't know exactly when it will be out. I think we're supposed to be finished with our test knit around the end of June. So I would expect it sometime after that. And I'm allowed to give sneak peeks, but not like the full garment. And I have not knit that much, so I guess that's fairly easy for me to do. So it has a cute little lace, and it has some beautiful color work. And this contrast, I think, is turning out very nicely. So, yay! So I guess as I knit, I'll probably be able to show you less of it. But I haven't knit very much yet. So I really like how it's turning out, and I really like the color combination. You know, it's kind of funny. This is not necessarily something I would just pick up off the shelf to knit together, but I don't know. I had this idea in my mind, and then I dyed it, and then I was setting them next to each other, and I'm like, I'm not so sure, but I think it'll work. And then when I see it like knit up, it's just perfect because it's so high contrast, but then it works. You get to see that color work nice and strong. So sometimes I like it to kind of blend in and not be quite as strong contrast, but this one it's just got beautiful color work on it, so I wanted to show it off. So anyways, that will be coming out at some point in time this summer, the Alpenbloom by Caitlin Hunter of Boyland Knitworks, and I am thrilled that she has allowed me to test knit for. Alright, so I have a lot of projects. I think I will go on to a nice summary project that I am like this close to finishing. And I think, even though I really need to focus on the test knit, I think I am going to take a few minutes out of the test knit to finish this next garment. This is the Sara tank top by, it's a free pattern on a website that sells yarn. I think there's a link to it through Ravelry. So it's Sara is the name of the pattern, and it's by Sari, Sari, and then her last name is like Nord something. I will put the information here. I think she's maybe Norwegian? Something like that. Anyways, it's a very cute tank top that has buttons up the front, and I did buy some little brown buttons. I don't have them down here with me. But you knit it bottom up. See if I can show this off. It's a little difficult. You knit it bottom up, and it's going to be have buttons in the front. It's using DK weight yarn. It's not very easy to show. I left everything on my needles because I thought that would be easiest as opposed to using waste yarn. There we go. I'm eating my yarn thingies. So, like I said, you knit it bottom up, you split for your arms, and then you knit each of these little sections, little triangle top sections by themselves, while you hold the other sides on waste yarn. And then you knit the straps, which I like that they're fairly wide, so I can wear a bra with it easily. And then once they're the right length, it gives the length in the pattern, but I plan on kind of trying it on to make sure. I'm a little bit short-waisted, so sometimes I need to shorten my straps. So once they're done, you can either seam or graft your straps together. So that's very exciting. And I really love my yarn I'm using, and the texture of the pattern is a reverse fisherman's rib. So normally a fisherman's rib looks like this. So you like knit one row and then you knit purl the next row. But she has the bumpier side on the outside. So it has a lot of texture, and I really like that. The sample is in like a white or off-white, and I chose my DK Merino Nylon Caramel Macchiato. I've also called this Eggnog Cappuccino, but it's currently labeled as Caramel Macchiato. And it has, it's a neutral, but it's a speckled neutral, and it even has some little splotches or little specks of like red and yellow and orange in there as well. I don't know if you can see that, but it's primarily like cream with brown spots. Here is the back. The back also has that same V shape, but it's solid, so there's no buttons up the back. But on the pattern it says you could wear it either way. Like you could wear it with the buttons in the back or the buttons in the front. It's made the same. Like the little triangles are made the same way. And then this, I gotta show this off. My daughter has gotten into baked polymer clay, and she made me a little blueberry pie. You see that? Trying to get out of the shot so the pie can be in the shot. It is the most adorable little thing. So she makes these little clay creations, and then she bakes them in the oven, and she puts a little stud thingy in there so she can put it on a lobster claw. She's gonna sell some of these at the craft fair, which I think will be cool. I think people would like them. I think they're adorable. I have another one I'm going to show you. I may have shown it before. It's an avocado. So anyways, this is a 90% finished object. So just need to finish the one strap, figure out how long I need it, seam it together, or graft it together, and then do my buttons. And I think this will be awesome. It's going to be great. And I want to kind of block it so it's a little bit boxy. I don't want it snug at all, because even though it's merino, if it's a little bit like wider and boxy and a little bit cropped, it'll get lots of airflow, so I think it'll work. Especially for like indoors. And it'll look really cute like under a jeans jacket or something. Very excited about that. And I just love how the color is knitting up. So, my next thing, uh-oh, I lost stitches. I've jumped on the half and half triangles wrap bandwagon here, and I am in the middle of a row, of course. So we went on vacation, like I said, and we had a good amount of travel time, so I decided to mark the beginning of our trip with the little avocado that she made me, which I think is the most adorable thing I've ever seen. It has a little smile on it and everything. So I was all the way down there at the beginning of our trip, and I did all of this. Now the rows are getting shorter, and I really can't show you this properly at all, but it's knit, you cast on for one edge and then you do the short rows, and so it gets smaller and smaller and smaller. And so each row gets smaller, which is kind of exciting, and then you'll do the opposite, I guess, on the way back with a second color. So this is the Flowers in Dirt colorway in a fingering weight merino nylon that I have in my shop, and I absolutely love this color because it's I don't know, brown and purpley pink and blues in there, but like it's got kind of an overall color from far away. It's not like super pooly and splotchy. It's, I don't know, I really like it. And then my second color, of course don't have it in here, is the Dark and Stormy colorway that I have So that will go really well with the blues that I have in here. And that's kind of the same way. It's overall very much blue. It has a little bit of like charcoaly color in it. And then it has some little teeny splotches of brown. Yeah, very excited about this. It's such a mindless knit that it is perfect like travel knitting. If you have any traveling to do, or if you have to go like someplace where you pick up and put down your knitting a lot, it's great to have as something mindless in your purse. I think I showed these last time. I haven't knit much on them. It's just a waffle pattern sock. I just made it up myself. I think I did 60 stitches, a size 2 needles, and my, what is this colorway? Blue steel colorway. The little waffle pattern is cute though. And then I'm doing the Eye of Partridge heel, which I haven't done much of lately. I really got into knitting the tank top, and then because I was so close to finishing, I couldn't bring it on the trip because that would have been kind of pointless. So I brought this on the trip, and I hadn't dyed up the yarn for the new test knit yet, so I couldn't bring that on the trip, sadly, because I found out like the night before we were going on the trip that I got to test knit it. So I brought this one. This is the Cardi V. Cardi V. Yes, it's a cardigan pattern. I can't remember who it's by. It starts with a V, and I'll put the information here, as well as all the stuff will be down below. This is a unique construction. It's, so far I think it's going to be a little bit similar to the like My Favorite Things knitwear constructions, where you like start with the back and then you pick up stitches. However, I think this is a steeper like neck back section. So maybe, I don't know. So I don't know how it's going to be. Maybe it's done in pieces actually. I don't know. I'll find out. I have not read through the whole pattern. I think you're supposed to do that, aren't you? Like get an idea of everything. I don't. I just jump in. I don't swatch either. However, I am planning on making this like oversized. I forget which size I did. I think size 2. I think there's only 3 sizes of this pattern. It's like small, which is still big, bigger, and bigger. So they're all oversized. Anyway, so you start with this little section here, and then these are on waste yarn. So then you knit this back panel, increasing on both sides until it's like wide enough, and then you stop increasing and you do a little ribbing edging here. And like I said, this is the back, and it's not a cardigan. Oh, excuse me. Okay, my phone rang, sorry about that. So this is Cardi V. It's not a cardigan. She has a cardigan pattern that's basically the same thing, but this is a pullover. But it has a nice little like V-neck where the ribbing kind of like crosses in the front. It's very pretty. And I kind of fell in love with her sample, which was white. So I decided to do just my natural white. I am using the Cloud Kid Silk Mohair. So Kid Mohair and Silk, 72% Kid Mohair and 28% silk, as well as the fingering weight merino nylon. And both of these are in my shop. Ooh. And so you just hold those together, but you're using a size, what is this, 8 needles? Yeah, so you use really big needles with it, and that mohair, you know, kind of fills in gaps, but it makes it very light and airy. And it has kind of a beehive-y looking pattern all over it, which is pretty easy to memorize, and I think it's pretty. And I'm doing, so it requires like a 1x1 cable, which is like, I think you can also call it a twisted stitch. I don't know. So 1x1 cable one way and then the other way. And I do not need a cable needle to do that. I just, I can do it just on my needles because it's only 2 stitches you're twisting, so, or you're rotating. Anyways, it's gonna be pretty. It's like a raglan construction, as you can see, and I'm very curious about the construction of it. And I like it, but this has to go in hibernation because of the test knit. I really want to do a good job with my test knit and actually get done by the deadline. So that is my goal. I have my favorite things knitwear cable sweater, and I have actually knit some on that before I went on the trip, but I decided not to bring that as well because it's kind of getting a little bit bulky. I will try to put a picture of that here, as well as my knit along, GKG favorite things knit along or Cal. That's like the hashtag for it, and I actually have a few people that have entered, yay. So I will also put some of that up here as well. And there's some very pretty cabled sweaters in there from my favorite things knitwear, as well as the big holy one that I did, so that sweater number 20 and 21 that she has. And I think there's also another camisole number 5, which I don't know if I've worn it on here or not. I need to if I haven't, because I actually have finished my camisole number 5, and I lengthened it a little bit from the other day because I decided it was a little bit too short because I had messed up my lengths in reading the pattern. I was just slightly confused, but that was totally my fault, not the pattern's fault. But I did wear it the other day, and maybe I'll try to put a picture of that up here too. So anyways, I hope you guys are having a wonderful spring. If you are in spring where you are like us, it was very raining today, and it's very humid, but we got things blooming and things are very green. If you can't tell back there, we've got a lot of greenness going on all around us, and lots of pollen too, so that messes with our allergies, but it's okay, it's pretty. And summer's like almost here, which is crazy. It doesn't feel like summer out there yet. So anyways, I hope you guys have a wonderful time knitting, and I look forward to seeing and hearing what you guys knit. If you are on Instagram, please tag me because I would really love to see what you knit. And if you are here, tell me what you're knitting down below, and what, especially what you want to knit for summer, because I want to knit all of the summer things right now. I always have that desire in the beginning of the summer, I think. So tell me what's good out there to knit for summer. See you later.